Hi everybody, Automaton here. Today I'm gonna show you how they changed the market in Retold and how you can now easily abuse it. Honestly, it's a big mess. The market is the only option available to get gold when all the gold mines in the map have expired. So in the original game, you would usually see it only in late games. As the first change, Retold has made it available in the second age. This is quite a big difference, though we haven't seen players spamming it early yet. Anyway, let's start with the basics. The market is available in Classical Age, where you will only have available the option to exchange resources. You can buy 100 food and wood for gold, or sell 100 to get gold. The costs are the two numbers displayed above, and the gold gain are the two numbers below. For example, if I were to buy food, I would always get 100 of it, and the gold paid will always be the displayed number, in this case 130. Similarly, if I were to sell food, I would always sell 100 of it, and the gold gain will be this number, 70. The prices aren't fixed, and interacting will change them accordingly. You can see how they change. Basically, any buying will make both the numbers of the exchanged resource higher, and any selling will make both the numbers lower. This feature is really helpful in most games. As a starter, if you mismanage your resources, you can, to some extent, balance them out. In noob games, this happens quite often, but even pro players need to use the exchange frequently. In the Titans, the main exchange abuser was Loki. He could have an old dwarf economy and then buy his way to the Mythic Age, where he would transition to a wood gold army, effectively never having to build any farms at all. You can also see the Caravan feature is locked until the Third Age, where the market basically becomes similar to a town center, as it will be able to build resource gathering units, the Caravans. So, how do the Caravans work? You can send them to your town center and they will go back and forth between the market and the town center, spawning gold when they reach the town center and depositing it in your bank when they reach the market. Spawning the gold on the TC is free, and the amount of gold depends on two things. The first is the owner of the town center. If you send the caravan to your town center, it will grant the normal amount of gold. If you send it to an allied town center, it will have a bonus on collected gold. In the Titans, the bonus was an astounding 50%. In Retold, this has been changed to just a 10% increase, so it's a huge nerf. If you send it to an enemy town center, you will get a 100% decrease. The second is the distance between the market and the town center in a beeline. This means that the most efficient trade route is the one where the caravan walks a straight line to the farthest town center. The formula for the gold gain multiplier is the distance multiplier squared. If the distance d gives the gold g, double the distance gives quadruple the gold, triple the distance gives 9 times the gold, and quadruple the distance gives 16 times the gold, and so forth. Obviously, the walk time also doubles, so the gold per second only doubles every time you double the distance, instead of quadrupling. Any obstacle that prolongs the walk time does not increase the gold gained. Back in the days, we all tried to cheat it by building elaborate paths, to no avail. The only result was the same gold with a much longer walk time. In the Titans, the distance was not the distance between the market and the town center, but rather the distance between the place where the caravan started its journey towards the town center and the town center itself. This meant that harassing trade, which was much more damaging than one expects it to be, you could harass trade with a single troop near the destination town center, and when the player redirected the idle caravans to his now super near TC, the caravans would only produce 4 or 5 gold and had an incredibly long walk idle time to deposit it. Effectively idle them for 1 minute with a single sword strike. Also, since they don't get inside Sky Passage or Underworld Passage, it meant there was literally no way to cheat the system. AoM Retold significantly reworked how trade works, and it did so, in my opinion, to improve quality of life for the players. It honestly feels amazing not to have to click and redirect caravans all the time. Harassed caravans now automatically resume the trade, and the old redirect abuse no longer works. Now the only way to damage your opponent's trade is to kill the caravans. However, there were two other changes. The first one is that a caravan arriving at a town center will always get the full gold, regardless of where it was when it was assigned to the town center. The second is that now the trade caravan's gold value is given by the distance between the town center the caravan traded to and the market where it will deposit the gold. This means that if I change market destination during the return trip of a loaded caravan, the loaded gold on it will change accordingly to the distance between the new market and the town center where the caravan got loaded. This feels like a scam, because a long trip to the town center can be rewarded with very little gold if the distant market is destroyed by the enemy, but was probably implemented because of the first change. Since now caravans get the full gold automatically, one could think to abuse this by building both a distant market and a close market, and manually sending the caravan to deposit to the market nearby every time it's loaded. Because of this second change, the return trip must be done fully to have the full gold. Also, in Retold, caravans can now enter Sky Passages and Underworld Passages, but are coded to unload upon entering, resulting in empty caravans to the other side to prevent teleporting trade abuse. Now that we understand how it all works, I present to you the first, very obvious abuse: spawn loading. With no micro involved and a small amount of wood as investment, you can build two markets, one on the farthest point and one close to the town center. Age of Mythology players are used to spawn caravans from the distant markets because of how the trade worked in the Titans. The process is so automated in our minds that nobody has already stopped and asked himself the good question: what if I spawn the caravans there directly on the TC? I only got to replay Retold a few days ago and played just a few games, but here you can see me already using it in ranked ladder. The positioning of the market is off because I'm done. The perfect position will be in the place of one of the corner farms, which are less efficient than the others anyway. This way, the first trip of the trade, and only the first trip, will be worth double the gold. This seems not much of a difference, but trade is often built late in the game as it needs some time to pay itself, and you need to be able to afford the investment without losing the game. Spawn loading significantly lowers the resources invested, as every caravan produced will not only add double gold per second on the first trip, but will also give his first load much sooner. This brings up to the second abuse: teleport trading. We have seen how traveling through sky passages is not possible for caravans, but will make the cargo disappear. This is fair enough, but not a problem if you're using the passage only for the unloaded trip to the town center, as now in Retold, trade works much differently from the Titans. You can easily drop to the market, teleport to the town center, and go back to the market, effectively skipping every trip to the town center and thus halving the drop time and doubling the gold per second. With hotkeys you can do it super fast, and considering the resource advantage that spawn loading gives you, once you get 8 to 10 caravans you can stop them at the market after they unloaded and start sending them in groups, lowering the micromanagement needed for the trick. This second thing feels very unfair as it's limited to Oranos or Underworld users, and Oranos is already too strong as it is. This second abuse really needs to be patched, but before it happens, you can use it to your heart's content. But wait a minute. Do Oranos really have an advantage here? As it turns out, you don't even need to teleport. You can just build 2 markets near 2 town center and switch trade location every time the groups drop off at the market. This way, with minimal micromanagement, your caravans will always keep the outward and useless trip. And this starts right from the beginning, since you started trading already with the spawn loading abuse. As I said, it's really a mess. Thank you for reaching this far. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned to play better. This video took me a long time to produce, so if you liked the content, please support, as I need to make this worth it if I want to continue. Let's make together AoM Retold the best RTS ever. As of now, you can support me in just 2 ways: subscribing to the channel and joining my Discord, where I will put up good stuff and you will be able to interact directly with me if you wish so. I will occasionally also play team games and organize private tournaments. The link for the Discord will be in the pinned comments, and that subscribe button, well, you can find that out. I believe in you. This is all for today. Take care, and I will see you around.